All right, so in this lesson, we're going to talk about aligning multiple objects. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my object layer, and I'm going to draw a simple primitive using the box tool. Before I draw it, I'm going to shift and then hold down the middle mouse button to kind of tilt back my work plane so I can draw in 3D easier. And I'm going to create a box with some height, doesn't really matter. And I'm going to change this out of 2D visualization. So I'm going to go up to 2D wireframe and then change to, I like conceptual for some reason. And now I'm going to create another object. This time let's do a pyramid because it's got some nice corners to it. It'll be easy to work with. So specify the center, left click, drag out my my base, left click, and then set up the top of the pyramid there, my spire. And so basically what I want to do is I want to be able to align this to the block somehow. Okay, maybe the middle, maybe the corner. Now you can do it using basic math if you know what the height of this block is. I can always left click, and if I'm in a three-dimensional visualization mode, I can use the arrows to kind of lift it up and use the green arrow to kind of move it over. And this might take a while, or I can input the actual values. All right, like I said, but I have to know the values of, the height of this block. So instead of doing that, I'm going to use an align command. All right, so the align command is actually a 3D align command, and you have to start it that way, 3D. All right, and mine pops up as one of the first ones, 3D align. And I'm going to left click on that. And it first asks me to select an object. So I'm going to select my pyramid. That's the object that's moving. And after I'm done selecting objects, I'm going to hit enter. Okay, now it says to specify a base point. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to ask me how many points do I need to connect this? I can connect via 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. All right, so my destination, my base point, my base point is going to be this corner here. Okay. Then my second point is going to be this corner here on the side, closest to me. Okay, so by clicking that, I set up at least one plane. All right, and now it's asking me for a third point. Again, if I don't have a second point or a third point, then I can just click C for continue. Okay, but I want a third point, and I'm going to click the other edge of this. Okay, so now it's kind of copied those points to my cursor. And now reading my command line, it says specify the first destination point. So I have to remember the order that I did this in. Okay, my number 1 was here, my number 2 was here, my number 3 was back there. And how does that relate to the planes or points on this box? My 1 should be here, my 2 should be here because it's on the same plane, and my 3 should be there because that's on the same plane. All right, so I'm going to make my first click here. 1, 2, 3. All right, and it basically moves that object and aligns it with the planes that I've announced. Okay, so again, my first point on the pyramid was number 1, that back side. Number 2 was along the flat, and number 3 was on the opposite side here. My destination was the same thing. Corner, corner, and corner. All right, so again, you might not need all 3 points. You might just need 1 point. Okay, but you have to align something. After that, you can realign, you can rotate, you can move. For instance, if we did a cylinder doesn't really have much to go by, right? So if I do the 3D align command, select my object, hit enter, I might just have 1 point. I might be able to finagle some quadrants, maybe, but my 1 point is going to be the center. My second point, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to hit enter. I want to go now to the destinations. So my destination might be the midpoint on top of this part. Okay, I place it, hit enter, and I finish my destination. So you have a source and a destination. Once I'm here, I can do whatever I want with it. I can slide it over, right? Move it up, move it down. So using a combination of your gizmos, using the combination of your 3D align command, you can mate various objects together. That's it.